Hello and welcome back to another FBL video, where in this video of course it is my team selection ahead of game week 3. Now what I'm going to be talking about is my formation, so I am thinking about a change in formation finally. The last couple of weeks it has been the same in 3-5-2. I'm going to be looking at how my team is currently set up and the transfers that I'm thinking about doing ahead of this game week. Now unfortunately I do only have one. Fortunately, I'm going to say annoyingly, I've only got one transfer this game week. But I want to make two. So I'm thinking about possibly taking a -4 already. But anyway, before I go through all of that, the main thing, the favourite thing, of course, is let's look back on how I got on first in game week 2, which obviously you can already see anyway. So I scored 55 points overall. Pretty happy with that, to be fair. I got a green arrow. I'm in the top million. Yay me. It's only game week 2, so it doesn't really matter. But at least I got a green arrow. It's always nice, I guess. So let's go through the team then. So obviously Turner was my goalkeeper. Didn't work out really, did it? He's only meant to be in it for one game week. And he didn't keep a clean sheet. Didn't pay off. To be fair, Hamer scored an absolute screamer against him. So he was a bit unfortunate. Bit annoying as well. But either way, it did actually work out because Pickford on the bench got absolutely hammered. I called it as well. I said Villa are going to look for revenge. And they absolutely battered Everton. So nothing from Pickford at least. So at least the 2 points worked out for me. My defence, so, I mean, it did and it didn't work out. So as you can see on my bench, I had Henry and Akanji. Both of them kept clean sheets. Obviously, Henry got a yellow card. Akanji got a bonus point. That's a lot of points that I've just wasted on the bench. If only I didn't get Reece James out for Chilwell. If I kept that transfer, put, let's say, Pedro on the bench in hindsight, I could have had a lot more points. But I'll have to take the 55 because it is a green arrow, I suppose. So yeah, unfortunately, my bench options, it's frustrating when you see them getting good points and you've not got them. But my other two defenders are in Saliba. Cracking performance from him. I'm so glad I had him. I'm so glad I've wanted him all through the summer. Nice clean sheet. 2 bonus points on top. Played well against Palace. Happy days. Ben Chilwell, not so great. Conceded against West Ham. Went off early as well, which I was surprised. I think he went off just on the 60-minute mark. So, pretty lucky probably to get that point in hindsight. But yeah, surprising about that. But hopefully, the next game will be much better for him. And Espanian, however you say his name, I still get it wrong now, but great performance from him. 11 points, absolutely smashed it. Unfortunately, he is the Kieran Trippier of this season where everyone owns him, so it doesn't really make much of a difference. It just makes you score a lot better, let's face it. My midfield, I mean, hot and cold here, isn't it? My Manchester boys, oh my God. Bruno Fernandes, how many sitters do you want to miss? Rashford, how many chances do you want to miss as well? Absolutely shocking. The double Man United midfield so far is not working out. Now, I personally want to get rid of them, but I don't want to do what happened last season. So I had Rashford last season. I took him out because he blanks in the first couple of games. I think it was the Brighton game that really snapped me when he missed that sitter. I felt like it was a sitter anyway. And he goes on that scoring run. So I'm a bit reluctant to get rid of these boys, but it's been shocking from Man United. They've got to really pick up in game week 3 if they want to stay in my team. Saka, 3 points. I mean, obviously the big shock from that game, this game week in total, would probably have to be Saka not being on penalties. Nobody expected it. Arteta claims to not expected it, but I don't trust anything a manager says these days. So only 3 points, which to be fair, I'm actually kind of happy Saka's not on penalties because if you look who took it, Odegaard, who's in my team, is on penalties. I mean, it could all change next time they have a penalty and Saka takes it, but either way, absolutely buzzing. So obviously, a lot of people have Saka, and if we have got Saka and I've got another player, it's more than likely going to be Martinelli. So buzzing about that. Penalty from Odegaard, 3 bonus points, 11 points. Boosh. Oh, boosh. Whoa, that's embarrassing. But yeah, great for performance by Odegaard. Definitely needed that because beforehand it was looking really bleak for that Arsenal game. And then finally my midfield. Oh, Matema. Absolutely killed it. Who would have thought at the start of the season we just needed 6.5 million midfielders? We don't need Rashford, Saka and Fernandes. You just need 6.5 million midfielders. Apart from Eze, of course. But yeah, goal, assist. I think he got an assist anyway. But great goal anyway he scored against Wolves. Absolutely cracking. I did say last week it was either a case of that Wolves-Man United game. Wolves are better than we thought, or Man United is terrible. And it turns out Man United are just terrible. How frustrating is that? But yeah, great from Matoma. Smashed it, buzzing. And then the strikers, I mean, not great really, let's face it. It was awful. Absolutely awful. Haaland blank. Not too fussed about that, to be fair. Everyone had Haaland as captain pretty much, so I just have to take the 4 points off him. Obviously, in hindsight, it would have been great to captain Matoma, but it's a bit hard to not captain Haaland, which is frustrating. And then obviously João Pedro. What the hell happened there? The guy scores a penalty in game week 1 against Luton. I know he missed that sitter, but surely that's not the reason why he got dropped against Wolves. Comes on though. Think, oh, come on, nick a goal for us. No, he decides to nick a yellow card. So, nothing from João Pedro, which is really disappointing because he looked really good in game week 1. And now, obviously, so many people are already thinking about getting rid of him. So, I was looking at maybe selling him about 5.8 million. It looked like I'll be selling him at 5.5, the price I got him for at this rate. But yeah, really disappointing there. But overall, happy with obviously got the green. It's always in hindsight, yeah. If only I had Henry and Akanji starting, and if I didn't make that transfer, it would have been even better. But yeah, 55 points, green arrow. I'll take it. So then on to the transfers that I'm thinking about maybe doing for this game week. I've got a couple up here, so that would mean a -4. The first one's a bit more straightforward. The second one is a difficult one, if I'm being honest. I can't figure out who I'd want to take out for the other person, but this first one is a lot easier because obviously João Pedro, he was benched last game week. It still shocked me now, but obviously he was benched. Now he's still 5.6 million, which amazes me, but I reckon it'll be 5.5 by the deadline. And I'm thinking about taking him out and putting in Wizard Brentford. Now that's not 100% confirmed. I do also like the Nicholas Jackson pick, but obviously I can't actually afford him, so I have to make 2 transfers to make that one done. But for sure I can do straight to the swap with Wizard. Now the fixtures, they're not too dissimilar to be fair with Brentford and Brighton, but Brentford does edge it with the better fixtures. They've got 2 home fixtures coming up with Crystal Palace, Bournemouth. Then they've got Newcastle away, Everton at home and Forest away. I mean, that's a nice set of fixtures coming up for Brentford. Brighton's aren't too bad either, really, but they're not as good as Brentford. So obviously they've got West Ham at home, which probably isn't the easiest fixture. Newcastle at home, so that's another home fixture as well. But again, that's not exactly going to be easy. United away, I mean, who knows what United team they're going to play by that point. And a Bournemouth at home, that's a decent fixture. And Villa away, not so easy. So realistically, you want a Brentford player instead of a Brighton player with those fixtures, let's face it. So obviously, it's made it a lot easier the fact that Pedro's not 100% going to start. So I want a 100% starter, and obviously Wizards got off to a cracking start as well. Obviously, probably better than Pedro due to the fact that he starts. So yeah, Wizards definitely on my mind. Nicholas Jackson's also obviously an option. He's also got great fixtures as well, but like I said, can't really afford him just off the one transfer. But even then, the last 2 games he's got 1 point each. Do I want to go for him, or should I just gamble on a Chelsea midfielder? It's a lot to think about because obviously I do like Chelsea's game week 3 fixture, Luton at home. Then they've also got Forest at home as well. So it's a tough one, but I'm leaning on taking Wizard in my team for now. But I wouldn't be surprised if I change my mind to somebody like Jackson. So then with this second transfer, I'm not going to lie, I haven't got a clue now what I want to do with it. As you can see already, I did Odegaard before the Arsenal game, so I wasn't expecting to take the penalty, so now I'm conflicted on what I want to do. I want to keep Odegaard now after that, so do I want to get rid of Saka? I might have to, but then again, if he gets a penalty and he scores it, oh, I'd be so annoyed. I can't get rid of Matoma, surely, because he's in form. And then the Man United boys have got Forest at home. So I'm all over the place on who I want to sell and who I want to buy as well. Oh, there's 3 players. At the minute I've got Foden down, but I also fancy Sterling of Chelsea. And obviously Mbuemo of Brentford, who's absolutely smashing it right now. So I haven't got a clue what to do with this one. It's difficult because there's just so many midfielders that I want right now. At the minute, Foden's my favourite because he's got Sheffield away. I can see Man City winning 6-0 there. I don't know why. But then again, Chelsea, Luton home, they could easily batter them. Obviously, Mbeumo, 3 goals, 2 games. You just can't ignore that either. I might just panic and not do anything, but I want one of those I want all 3 of those midfielders to be fair, but I also want to keep the 5 I've already got, which is so annoying. So yeah, at the minute, Odegaard, I can't put Odegaard on my shopping list. It might have to be Saka, which is mental when you think about it. Or Matoma, because obviously West Ham next game. West Ham might be pretty decent to be fair, so it might be a bit of a struggle for Brighton, but I thought about Wolves and they battered them. So, if anybody, maybe Matoma might go just because of his fixtures afterwards. Whereas Man City, Chelsea, or Brentford, all 3 of their fixtures are looking good, so that might be the transfer I go for. For now I've got it down at Odegaard, but obviously I want to keep him now, so it might be Matoma or it could be Saka. Obviously the Man United boys are on their final warning with the Forest game. If they both fluff their lines, one of them definitely will go in game week 4, but for now I'm sticking with it because last year I had Rashford. He disappointed me in the first couple of games, got rid of him, and he absolutely smashed it when I sold him, so I'm hesitant on United right now, but yeah, it's between Matoma and probably Saka really at the minute, but yeah, absolute nightmare decision to make at the minute. So then, onto my team selection now, and this is obviously going to be without any transfers made. This is how it's going to look so far. More than likely we'll make a transfer, but this is what it looks so far. So in goal, Jordan Pickford, Everton, Wolves at home, Forest, Man United away. You're always going to go for the easier fixture. So Everton at home against Forest. That was an easy decision to make. Now with my bench, I'll mention that quickly. So as you can see, I've got Pedro, Henry again, and Woodrow. Now clearly, as you can tell by that, I've gone for a 4-5-1 formation. Now I'm still unsure whether to have Henry on the bench because obviously Brentford have been pretty decent so far this season, especially at the back. Pedro, I mean, I don't know if I want to keep him yet, so that's why he's on the bench. And Woodrow, I mean, we all know why I've got Woodrow, 4.5 million striker, barely owned, gets minutes occasionally. Mate, he'll be there until I decide to wildcard, let's face it. Onto my defence then, back 4, so Saliba, first up, Fulham at home. I'm expecting another clean sheet, I'm not going to lie. They've sold Mitrovic, their main threat. So that's an added bonus really. So yeah, and obviously Saliba, he looks like he is the nailed on defender. I've said it, he's their best defender for so long now. And he's proved it again. Storming performance against Palace, so for sure he's going to be starting. Ben Chilwell, I mean, I'm expecting a better performance from Chelsea. Luton at home. I don't think Luton are going to get any goals, so I'm expecting another clean sheet here. Hopefully he'll get some goals and maybe assists, that'd be an added bonus, but obviously he is quite highly owned now, so it doesn't really affect me too much. Espinina, now this one is not 100% confirmed so far. I'm scratching my head whether to go for him. Obviously his attacking is the reason why he's still in this team right now, and it's probably the biggest headache I've got, because I don't think they're going to keep a clean sheet, whereas I think Brentford can keep a clean sheet, so I'm umming and ahhing about whether to swap him with Henry right now, but at the minute he's in there because obviously everyone owns him, and he did smash it. He has smashed it so far this season, but I'm not so confident with this game weeks with Brighton. And then finally, Akanji. I mean, he could always get dropped, which is always going to be an issue, but he started every game so far for City. Sheffield United away. There's no chance in how Sheffield are going to score against City. I just can't see it for the life of me. They'll probably get about 20% ball, and that's it. So I'm pretty confident there he'll get a clean sheet as well if he starts. So 3 clean sheets at the back. I'm expecting a storm performance from my defence here. So onto my biggest headache, my midfield. So I've gone for a 5-man midfield clearly. Manchester boys both starting. Rashford, Fernandes, both got Forest at home. This is their final chance surely. If whoever whichever one blanks for sure will go more than likely. But it's a tough one because at the minute Bruno Fernandes has had the most chances. So do I want to get rid of him if he blanks and if Rashford blanks? Because if Rashford's not getting as many chances and he's blanking, surely I want to go for him. But like I said last year, he really rubbed salt in my wounds by what he did to me. So I'm so hesitant of getting rid of Rashford. Not so much for Fernandes, but if Fernandes is getting more chances, surely I should be keeping him. But that is a headache. But for sure, both of them will be in my team for this game week. The Arsenal boys, Saka, Odegaard, Fulham at home. I mean, I think they'll comfortably win this game 3-0. So that's another reason to be hesitant, because as much as I want to get rid of, let's say, Saka for one of the other guys, I can see Saka scoring a couple of goals in this game as well, which is it's a pain. It's such a pain, man. And Odegaard, I mean, is he on penalties? Is he not? Either way, he's actually a differential, so I want to keep him for sure. And what he did for me at the start of last season as well, it's always in my mind. So he smashed it last season. I think he can smash it again this season. I'm hoping he can as well. And the fact that he's captain as well, nailed on, makes it a comfortable pick. And finally, Mitoma. Like I said, Estepinian, I'm not so sure about this fixture against West Ham. I know they're at home, but West Ham, they're no mugs so far this season, to be fair to them. So, I mean, yes, Brighton have looked good, but while he's going up in price, should I sell him now and then just pray to God that they fumble in these next few fixtures where they are actually pretty difficult and then people will sell? That is another big talking point that I'm trying to think of. No doubt this one will go right down to the wire, but how nice would it look to have a Man City midfield playing Sheffield away there, or a Chelsea midfield playing Luton at home, or even Mbeumo is absolutely on fire. And Palace, to be fair to them, are pretty decent at the back, so that is probably the reason why he's my third option out of those. He's my least favourite, so it's either Foden or Sterling, I'll probably say, in that midfield that would swap with Mitoma, but yeah, tough decision. And of course, finally, Erling Haaland up front. 100% he's going to be my captain for this game week. Pretty obvious, really. I obviously have Saka. I've got Saka down as vice captain, but I might change that later on. It could be Rashford or Fernandes. But for sure, Haaland, I mean, like I said earlier, I can see him scoring 6 goals, and I wouldn't be surprised if Erling Haaland got 4 of them. So this is probably the one game week you don't want to risk going against Haaland, because he could absolutely terrify that defence this weekend. No chance in hell I'm taking the gamble, because it would eat me up alive if I didn't put him as captain and I watched that game and he smashes it. So for sure, easy decision, one man up front, and he could absolutely kill it this weekend. And so that's it. That is my team, how it's looking so far for game week 3. Like I said before, it's going to be Mitoma or Saka will come out my team, and for sure João Pedro more than likely will come out my team. So if I do take João Pedro out and put Wizard in, what I would probably do is, and if I did take that -4 hit, and maybe go for Mitoma, because I'm leaning to actually get rid of all 3 of my Brighton players, which is mental when you think about it. So I could see myself putting Wizard on, take Mitoma out for either Foden or Sterling, and then probably bench Estepinian for obviously Wizard. So yeah, that's mental to think about it, considering how good they've been at the start of the season. That is probably more or less what I'm thinking mostly. But anyway, so that's how my team's going to look. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know what your teams are. Don't forget to please like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one.